Well, what is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Talk of the Tundra, your Green Bay Packers podcast as a proud partner of the Gyro Step Podcast Network and the Blue Wire family. Solemnly, I am your host, Numac, and to talk through what was probably the saddest game in 11 years as a Packers fan, is my lovely co-host, Jordan Chesky. Jordan, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing surprisingly well.
I'm better today. I'm better
Hot
today.
tamale.
What?
You're better today, hot tamale.
I I don't understand that reference whatsoever. We're already off on the wrong foot.
Either way, I mean,
Either
I
way,
think
he said, "This idiot's not gonna get. I'm not gonna explain it."
24 hours after the Packers Broncos game, I feel like uh would have calmer heads prevail, and I feel like it has
It
to some
has,
degree.
yeah. We got a lot of information
It's
today that
it's
we'll start
it's a
with.
wonder how that happens.
Yeah, yeah. Weird how that works. We will go through it all. Thank you, listener, for listening. If you are, day late, dollar short on the pod. Had a little sick kiddo last night, which prevented us from recording. But we'll go through it all right now with some more information that we learned here on Monday. So let's start with the worst news of the season. Micah Parsons has torn his ACL. He's out for the season. Uh, on a not freak, but just a regular play, chasing Bo Nix, trying to get a sack. His knee goes inside, and that's that for him. I think it hurt that much more in the moment because Christian Watson had went down like a series earlier, and so it just wasn't a good third quarter for the Packers, and so his injury drastically changes the expectations for me and just like the trajectory of this season. Um, it really sucks to have your Super Bowl hopes kind of dashed like this. It was just they were getting going at the right time. Like they were playing this game well. They were in this game, and I think, frankly, the win got sucked out of the Packers' sails in this game. Once Watson went down, they were kind of like reeling, and then as soon as Parsons went down, I think that, like I said, the wind has got taken out of their sails.
Yeah, I mean, we'll get into the Parsons effect of it all, but like, I don't know of any team that could, like, in the immediate sense of playing what a lot of people probably could have seen as a Super Bowl preview, having a 9 point lead on the road in a notoriously tough environment as the Broncos have gotten better. Losing Chris Watson, Micah Parsons, Zach Tom, Evan Williams in the same quarter.
Yeah,
Those are consequential players. Like, you can't,
yeah,
regardless of how long term one injury is compared to the other, like losing all four of those players at that particular point with the game swinging so heavily in Denver's favor right after. Not that, that was all of it, but it's played a huge turning point in the story of that game and why the Packers just kind of looked shocked. I mean, and I don't that's not a criticism. That's natural.
no,
It's human beings at the end of the day playing a intensely violent sport that at any moment's notice, it doesn't even matter if you get hit hard or anything like that. Your knee
or
can
hit it all.
buckle, or hit it all. Your knee can buckle if you're kind of changing directions. And the cruel irony with Parsons is that like he was really turning it on in that third quarter
Mm-hmm.
alone. I think I was listening to some kind of reaction pods throughout the day today, and that he had five pressures in the third quarter alone by the time he got hurt, which is
Yeah,
like insane. Um, but yeah, this is just a mammoth loss. You don't. What do you say about losing someone that has had 12 plus sacks in 5 years?
mm-hmm.
You make a big trade for him. He has been not just a catalyst, but like your closer, your starter, your innings eater all in one. Like it's it's a huge like it will we're not no ifs, ands, or buts. the Packers Super Bowl chances are significantly diminished by not having Micah Parsons on the field. Is there the door open for that to happen, like for them to conquer that or overcome that? It kind of is. I'm not saying it's, it's very slightly ajar,
Let's.
but
I want to sulk for a little bit, and then we will hit to the positives. Not that there's positives, someone being injured, but the optimistic outlook a little later, because I think
well,
there's a way forward here.
there is. I think ultimately it just before we get into that, it sucks losing just a highly entertaining football player that has just become the spirit of the team
Yeah,
in 3 months since he came here.
yeah, for sure. Like I think he's most certainly the loudest voice in that locker room. Like he's never really been a leader by anecdotes from Cowboys media and players, but I mean, I think I hear him talking more than Jordan Love. Not that's not a knock on Jordan Love, but like 9 times out of 10, if someone's quote goes not viral, but gets a lot of traction on social media, it's because of what Micah Parsons said. Like I think he has a way with words and building guys up and being confident in his own ability that just kind of manifests with the team. Like we talked about the wind coming out of the sails for the Packers in that second half, especially in the fourth quarter after Parsons went down. Like he's the leader of the team. Like him and Jordan Love are those guys. And when you lose your leader and you lose a production aspect like that, when you lose a player of his caliber, it's just hard not to get downtrodden. Like it's just the way it is.
Yeah, and he's in his prime. This is part of the time that he's missing. Like Gary on first playoff run in Green Bay.
Mm-hmm.
Like you know, it changes the tenor of a lot of things. Now, I'm not surprised that in sharing the news that he tore his ACL and he's looking ahead and marking a date on his calendar for September next year. Like that, these are athletes. They're gonna push it. Like we saw Christian Watson return ahead of schedule earlier this year after tearing his ACL. Like after, I think it was the last game of the year, so it was in the same calendar year.
Yeah, so he tore his ACL. Christian Watson did on January 5th. His first game back was
It's the 26th of
yeah,
October,
was
right?
October 26th. So
Yeah.
about 10 months. Um, I was have this conversation with people at work today, and like I think he's optimistically back by the end of September. Like the ACL injury isn't as devastating as it was 5, 10 years ago, 10, 15 years ago
No.
rather. Like it's no longer a year-long injury. Guys can get back pretty quickly from it, especially if you do all your surgery and repair right away after you injure it. So, like, I would even bet that Watson's was as long as it was because he had leg and ligament issues prior, like soft tissue
Yeah.
injuries and things like that. So, my optimistic guesstimation, my non-doctor optimistic estimation is week one. Like, that's probably way ahead of the schedule, but I if come to know Micah Parsons as anything other than motivated and driven, I would bet he taxes therapy pretty hard in order to make week one.
Football players are wildly built different.
They're built different, and by the time by um September 1st, he'll be 27. He'll still only be 27.
It's nuts.
Yeah, he turns 27 in May. So still very good, believe it or not.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, just it all in all, it just sucks. Like that's really all there is to it. Um, in the goodish news section of this pod, um, Christian Watson leaves yesterday's game with a chest injury. Um, I'm trying to find the tweet quick where it mentions the um, injury he had or what they were concerned about because I have
It was
to
like a lung thing.
kind of sort of. I'm trying to find the um a Twitter doctor say it. It was like or
The
clavicle,
Dr. Grok.
whatever it was. Christian Watson. I should search clavicle, whatever the name of said injury was. Um, it they because he went to the hospital. The here we go. The It's possibly suffered a clavicle dislocation at the sternoclavicular. I cannot talk tonight.
To be
Sternoclavicular joint.
fair,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's a
that's
mouthful. Um, Basically, they think he either broke, like while he's went to the hospital, he either broke or dislocated where his collarbone meets his sternum. And
hey.
excuse my French, kids, plug your ears. Fucking ow! Like a collarbone fracture hurts well enough, I'm sure. Like that's just a very like it's a bone that's like really near the surface. Like you know what I mean? Like how like it's just a bone that's there. Like that just seems like it would
It's
hurt.
like it feels like someone just like taking like an axe to a table leg, and the
Yeah.
leg just the table just going like,
It's basically like there's a diagram I'm looking at on Twitter. I'll show the YouTube video. It's this part right here
yeah,
that he either broke that or dislocated it. Are you kidding
that's
me,
too much.
Jordan? Like,
That's too much skin right
listener,
there.
free listener, where your neck meets like your chest. There's that little, I can feel it, like that little like bone there. That sounds like it would hurt for all get out. Like that just sounds incredibly painful. But the good news is that he avoided major injury. He flew home on the plane last night with the team, and there is a chance that he could play against the Bears. I mean, again, football players, wildly different human beings.
Yeah,
But like, if there is any silver lining to this like game of just shit, right? Like just an awful result all around. Not to mention, we haven't even mentioned the Packers lost this game, and now our second place in the NFC North
I think that
game.
became secondary at
Yeah,
a certain point. Honestly,
oh for sure. But like,
yeah.
I when he went down, Jordan, I immediately thought of you. Immediately thought of you, because
Wait,
because
why?
because like you, not that you like peddle Watson pessimism, but we always talked about like pre ACL tear last year that he's just snake bitten with injuries. Like he just can't stay healthy. And like I was like, you gotta be kidding me. Like another instance where he just it's a bad luck football play where if you'd have broke a collarbone or did something that it's just bad luck. It was not a dangerous throw. It wasn't like anything. He just fell and landed wrong. Thankfully he's not hurt. And I think him not being hurt and being able to play really keeps this offense intact. Even if he's just available, like
Boy,
yeah, like we'll get. I want to like I don't want to get into like the good of everything until we go through the sad. Because I don't want to jump back and forth. I want to stay sad. I don't want to look ahead, right? But like that is the silver lining is that Christian Watson didn't break anything. He can still play this hopefully this week against the Bears and be hopefully a big benefit for the offense.
I know Ty mentioned it in our Discord, which you can join at GSP. I just said DSPN, GSPN Discord. When we were talking about the game during the game, and he brought up like how it Watson feels like, but the Bucks with Chris Middleton, like post title
I
run.
think that's exactly what it is.
And I will go a step further into a more obscure but like equally prescient like reference. He just gets a lot of weird injuries, and it's like very Andrew Bogut like. Andrew
Yeah,
Bogut had like
that elbow injury
he
is the nastiest thing I ever did see.
the elbow, but he had like a very like a foot early in his career. Like he's always just had like weird knocks and bruises that like I've never heard another like athlete have the kinds of
Injuries that and like
injuries
the
or
way
ailments
they
that have.
do it. Like Christian
Yeah,
Watson tore his ACL on a jet sweep, right? Like he turned upfield and tore it. And he came up lame.
that was a separate one. I don't think it was a torn
Or
ACL. I
that might have
can't
been his
remember.
hamstring, but either which way, like it's just
Yes,
like he gets injured on the most simple things. And not that this is not that anything about football is simple, but like routine, I should say.
yeah,
Like this is Christian Watson almost catch. Well, I should say almost catch the throw,
Just
yeah, the interception that Jordan Love threw to Christian Watson,
Sertan.
yeah, just to Patrick Surtain. That was the same falling motion Jaden Reed had in week 2. Same exact thing. Like
Yeah,
just fell on your shoulder. Very easily could have broken his collarbone.
yeah,
Like this is like the one time you're like, really? Like he didn't get injured and is not out for the season. Like I was shocked. I was shocked.
yeah, yeah.
So
It's good that he's healthy, and I mean, it's a matter of what the Packers will do with him going into Saturday if he does play, or if they
some
have him on a
oh my god,
snap
it
count.
is no,
It
it's
is a Saturday.
no this not this week.
Yeah, it is.
They play back to back Saturday games. They play Saturday. Ugh, gross.
We're in that type of time of year.
Ugh, that's so whatever. Not gonna talk about it right now. Regardless, yeah. And then I guess you want to talk about Evan Williams or Zach Tom next?
Um, Zach Thomas, because I think that was honestly,
It was the more impactful injury in this game.
yeah,
Yeah,
to say the least.
Zach Tom goes down with a knee injury, no structural damage according to Tom Silverstein. Um, no timeline from what I've seen. Um, FYI, Zach Cruz had a tweet today with injury updates. Obviously, Micah Parsons out for the season. Christian Watson could play versus the Bears per Jacob Westendorf. Bill Huber, we'll talk about Evan Williams in a minute, but he's out 1 to 2 weeks with a knee sprain, and then no structural damage for Zach Tom. Zach Tom is currently the fella in SpongeBob who answers the door in a full body cast with an oxygen monitor.
Yep.
But I mean, he's offensive linemen talk about football players being built different. They are a different beast. He's been playing with a torn oblique most of the season, and now this knee injury. Like he very well could play this week. I wouldn't advise it, but he could.
Yeah.
um, and so I think it was a common thread on social media today. I think it was obvious in the game too. But Zach Tom going down was abysmal for this offense. Like Jordan Love played one of the better halves I've ever seen him play in the first half. Like
He had his most career yards in the first
it
half.
was incredible. He was dealing. He had dots all over the field. It was wholly impressive. And then
And
Zach Tom goes down and he just has no time in the pocket. Like Darian Kennard just couldn't ball, and that kind of
it was so alarming that I was like, oh, he's going to get hurt. Like he's the way that he's playing, and guys I didn't know about him. The pocket is crumbling around him. It was like he's holding on the ball for too long, and the Broncos pass rush is like fully on tilt. Like something's gonna give. So I like at a certain point I was just kind of fearing for his life of like he had some bad hits already. Like there was a roughing the passer. Not that they were pushing the edge, but Broncos were feeling themselves like they had the win at their back, so to speak, and were just pouncing on the team that was getting decimated right before their eyes. So yeah, it's good that Jordan Love avoided injury after Zach Tom left, but like I could not. Just when like it's one of those things where the offensive line just got figured out, seemingly, little consistency with the inclusion of Anthony Belton at right guard, and it's been this kind of like sleeping or like elephant in the room of like Zach Tom is not playing 100%, and is it going to be a recurrence of like what he's already been dealing with, or what if he's going to get hurt just because it's football, or like so yeah, it's just I mean the guy is battered and bruised and has been going through it like a champ, but I kind of felt like that was going to happen eventually, not to be doom and gloom in my crystal
right,
ball, but I mean it's like if someone's already hurt and they're playing, like the chances or the odds of that happening again are going to be a little higher.
right for sure. Um, the pressure numbers from yesterday are awful.
What is
Um,
it?
Darian Kennard had 2 pressures allowed, including a sack. Um,
Okay.
Aaron Banks played the entire game, 7 pressures allowed and a sack. Anthony Belton played the entire game at right guard, 4 pressures. Sean Ryan, 4 pressures. Rasheed Walker, 3 pressures. Darian Kennard, 2 pressures, and Zach Tom was the only one without a pressure in
Well,
in
Yeah, sorry.
19 pass blocking reps.
And that's the other thing too is that we kind of, you know, they don't have Elton Jenkins right now, so you have two
Yeah.
of your starting offensive linemen out.
Yep.
It's gonna show.
It's gonna show, and I think it
No
showed.
team. Look at the Eagles.
Yeah. It's hard to overcome, and so we don't know a timeline for Zach Tom,
A Tom line.
a Tom line per se, but if they want to make the playoffs, I think they need him there. Because I don't know
Oh
what
my
they do.
god! I was like, they're gonna make
Because Jordan Morgan's not going to play
question.
any other position on the line that isn't left tackle. I'm not going to have that conversation right now, but he's not going to. So I don't know.
Rough. Maybe it's a
Yeah,
good thing the Packers don't have their first round pick the next 2 years.
maybe this year.
It's what I've
Yeah,
been saying. It's what I've
this
been saying. I said
this
after the
year
Parsons trade.
this year yes. Next year not so much. This year's draft class stinks out loud.
Yeah.
I was looking at where the Packers would pick today, looking at guys around there, particularly secondary players, believe it or not.
Really?
Yeah, we'll get to that in a minute.
Well,
Um,
Evan Williams plays in the secondary.
Evan Williams plays in secondary. He goes down. I didn't see him. I didn't see him go down. Um,
Yeah.
I got busy. Not like coincidentally, but like I just got, or I guess it's coincidentally. I got busy coincidentally after the Parsons injury. Like
Yeah.
I didn't get a chance to watch the rest of the game, which didn't miss much. But
No one
um,
would blame you.
right. And so, but that's really big in the run game, especially this week against the Bears. Like that's gonna be a tough thing to overcome. I do wonder how they overcome that. Like if they move Bullard to the safety and have Hobbs be in the slot.
Well,
Don't
he got hurt too.
who did?
Hobbs got hurt later in the game.
Didn't know that.
Yep.
Alas, I didn't see anything about him. So
He got hurt on. Let me go through my notes because it was like it was so like evident that he's not doing well.
yeah,
And then he, where was it? Um, I'm. Oh, he got hurt on the 12-man penalty
oh
that was an
yeah,
offsides
yeah,
like play or whatever,
yeah.
and then the Broncos scored the next play, but he was covered in the end zone and was down a long time. And then trainers were looking at him. I was like, all right, well,
Not
Nate
great.
Hobbs is hurt again.
Yeah,
And again,
not
separate issue, but it's trying to return back into the season and making it worse for wear has probably explained why he's been as bad as he is.
yeah, not a conversation for this episode, but for off season. Abysmal free agency class for Brian Gutekunst. Abysmal, but
A
not
little
for
bit.
this pod.
Yeah.
Um, let's go through the game before we look ahead at the rest of the season because there's more. There's some good in this that I want to talk about, but there's also we'll end with the bad of the game. No, I
Beyond
lied.
injuries talk.
Beyond injuries talk, correct. Let's start with the bad, and then we'll transition to the good of the game, and then we'll transition to looking forward the rest of the season. How does that sound?
Yeah, let's do it.
Alrighty. So more bad. This is more play. Secondary just wasn't there, man.
It was awful.
They made Bo Nix look like a prime elite quarterback, and he made some good throws. Like credit to him, but
Yeah,
I don't think Cortland Sutton had a man near him all day long.
that guy torched
Torched
uh, Valentine in particular.
and Nixon.
And Nixon, well, that double move, like it was
I said in Discord.
day or
That's the
night.
move Keyshawn gets beat on. One step towards Keyshawn's outside foot and break in, and you're losing 5 yards of separation.
Yeah,
Like that's crazy.
it was.
Um,
Just remarkable.
I probably don't have enough digits on my body to count the number of times Carrington Valentine or the number of times I thought Carrington Valentine was going to intercept a swing pass to the outside and take it to the house,
Oh my god.
but instead he whiffs on both the interception and the tackle. Like he needs to pick a lane on what he wants to do on those plays, and the answer should just be just tackle the guy for a loss
Yeah.
because he goes for the home run every single time, and he then is then way out of position, not in a position to make a play, and gives up 15, 20 yard play. Like it's just crazy.
He was rough. I mean, Nixon wasn't much better. I just think, I mean, I'm looking through the boxer right now. Like the Broncos, Bo Nix, I think at a certain point he only had like two incompletions. It was like early third quarter. Finished 23 or 34 for 302 yards, four touchdowns, no sacks, 134.7 passer rating, which I can only imagine is his highest in his career.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, like Cortland Sutton, seven catches, 113 yards, a touchdown on 10 targets. Troy Franklin, six catches, 85 yards, touchdown on six targets. Little Jordan Humphrey, who I know you said that he was going to have a touchdown this game. Three
I just
catches,
like his name.
yeah, three catches, four targets, 42 yards, a touchdown. Michael Bandy, who like looked
A
like he was
nobody elevated from the practice squad this week. I'm pretty sure.
like someone that like when you see like a high school band play a high school football game and he's doing like the cymbals, like he's doing that, like he's that tall, he's like 5'6".
Uh huh.
He was like, I don't know, he looked like a temp, wide receiver temp. He scored. It just looks so easy, and I think for me, like the secondary, this is where they just looked so flummoxed at the options that the Broncos have. And we talked about it where these two teams are very similar in that they have a plethora of options and they're maddening from a fantasy perspective in that as someone that has had Cortland Sutton all year long, like he has not had a great year. Franklin has ascended.
Yeah.
Marvin Mims is kind of like this gadget guy that Sean Payton's had plenty of success with over the years, like that type of player.
Yep.
And then Ingram is still on this team. Like he's
Did
quality
he have
tight
a
end.
target yesterday?
I think it was only one catch, 12 yards, so pretty quiet. But I just the way that they struggled was very predictable in that like Valentine just looked out of his depth. Like he didn't have any flow or consistency or like he couldn't keep up with Sutton. He couldn't keep up with the guys that he's covering. As you mentioned, like he's never been a good. He's he's so it's so deceiving that he can disrupt throws in certain situations, but he's terrible at catch points. It's why in college, like he was a seventh round pick, is that he wasn't disruptive. He wasn't forcing turnovers. Like he had multiple years where he had zero interceptions. And I don't know. I just think the way that the Broncos like manhandled them in the passing game, it's like if the Packers pass rush isn't getting there, Bo Nix is doing what Caleb Williams was doing last week, and that he's extending plays. He's going outside the pocket. So guys, a lot of guys are having to, force him and chase him on the move. And the outside corners are just getting torched from releases and route trees and like just finishing out plays. The fact that they were extending plays well into the clock, like it just I don't know, all of it was very just kind of just a mess. Like it was very predictable, but I just think the way that they Nixon and Valentine just didn't have a handle on who they were covering just kind of open up all parts of the field. Like Knicks had no trouble like at any point of spraying the ball towards any point in the field. Like if it was just really easy.
No, you're 100% right. I'm looking at PFF right now, and Riley Moss leads the NFL in snaps and coverage snaps at 614. I'm looking at players that have played at least 50% of those. Like that's like the qualifying statistic for PFF. Not
Yeah.
qualifying, but the one I put on there. Um, Surprisingly, for corners that have played, I shouldn't say surprisingly, but for corners that have played 50% of the 614 snaps, so 307. Keyshawn is second in NFL in PBUs. He has 12 of them. I want you to
That
get
honestly, that
that
lines up
that
with,
tracks. Like
yeah.
he gets his hands in there once in a while,
How many does Valentine have?
and
3.
you're close. In 396, I'm sorry, 392 coverage snaps. So
3.
close. 4.
4. Yeah.
Yeah. Like it's I'm trying to see I'm trying to find his line here. Um but he's been thrown at oh golly. Can't figure out the targets. Here we go. Do 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 do. You can do it, Alex. You can scroll far enough to find it. He's been thrown at 46 times and he has four breakups. Like it's just he's got to be better. And he's been like serviceable, but I think that's the issue, and that's the kind of the thing I've come back to time and time again this season is that these corners are good, but they are not cover the best guys in the NFL good. And like Cortland Sutton isn't even near that. Like he's good. He's not top 10 in the NFL. He's probably not maybe top 15, which is like that's neither here nor there where it matters where he falls. But like the
He
entire wide
to say the
receiving core
least,
had their
he's
lunch.
not having that type of season.
No,
And
no,
I don't know. I think a lot of it was coming down to Bo Nix just
he played well.
but he turned in his best game of the year by far. And again, Jay McKinney is doing what he was doing. He had
The interception drop made me so sad.
the one that he ran from like one.
The
I mean,
very same.
at that point, if you're making a play on the ball, you're making a play on the ball. It's more than what a lot of those guys were be able to
Oh,
do. But like,
I'm not like mad at him,
yeah, but
but
it was
like
just
he got there and got his hands on the ball.
yeah.
And like at that point, if you're an all pro safety, like you need to make that catch. It's just that you just have to. Like I'm not trying to draw comparisons, but like Ed Reed makes that catch. Like, do you know what I mean? Like that's the kind of safety caliber Xavier
I mean, that's
McKinney
the difference
is.
between.
Well, like in today's NFL, like he's that top. He's one of the top safeties in the
Yeah,
NFL. He's not Ed Reed, like
no,
that. I'm not saying that at all. But like current safeties in the NFL, he's near the top of his position. Like Hall of Famer Ed Reed makes that catch. If Xavier McKinney is going to be that type of player, going to be that type of safety, he needs to make that catch and force that turnover.
agreed. I will also say this. I'll make a point on something else. Going back to what we've already discussed with Jordan Love, I just thought like there was all like the pregame kerfuffle and high intensity. Didn't really understand it. It was pretty like lame. It was Alex Singleton like pushing Rashawn Gary. It's like okay, I don't get the connection, or why or what was being jawed. It's
Right.
players being players. I will say I think the Packers secondary was way too juiced. They're making like out of all the players or of units on the field, like they were playing at a high tilt and
Yeah.
forcing the interception. No, not interception, fumble in the first drive.
Yeah.
They were talking their game. I mean,
Yeah.
more power to you. And then Bullard gets that weird, like the weird. I know a lot of Packers fans were like, "Why did they
No.
call that unnecessary
The
roughness play?"
yeah.
It's like
They
rein
had
it in.
they had
They picked
whichever
him up and
receiver.
threw him down.
Right. I think if they let him drop, like if they just take their arms away and let him drop, it's fine. Bullard like took it
He,
and pushed him down.
yeah,
Like
it's like,
like that's the penalty. I think if they let him
yeah,
drop, there's nothing there. But Bullard following through with the shove down to the ground is the penalty.
it took them out of their game. And I know like I joked of like Matt LaFleur was asked about like the Packers' composure going to halftime in a game that did not resemble what the game finished like at all.
Right.
But he was like in a very Dodge, I drive a Dodge Stratus like tone of voice is like, we got to keep our composure. Like, like that level. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, okay. Okay, Matt.
It
Go
like I
challenge again.
well, I think like that's the problem is that they besides all the injuries, they just kept shooting themselves in the foot.
Oh, yeah.
10 penalties for 72 yards. Like they just they they couldn't figure out.
And Rasheed Walker was the benefit of half of this, by the way.
Yeah, not the recipient, not the benefit.
Sorry. Yeah, yeah. Recipient. Yeah.
Like Rasheed Walker, someone said in the Discord, like he is playing himself out of a big contract, and it's annoying that he has to be out there because I'd rather just because I would prefer with them not to give him a contract right now because they have Jordan Morgan. I'd rather just see what he can do to see if he's worth anything. But here he sits on the bench because Rasheed Walker, as a seventh round pick, earned that spot. It's just frustrating because he's been fine, but like too many false starts, too many holdings, and it's frustrating to watch at times.
It's certainly not helpful that I feel like Rasheed Walker's worst games often come in
They correlate with the
biggest.
Packers' worst games.
Well, that, but I would say they correlate with the Packers being their biggest games.
Yeah,
He's just like he's a replacement
not up to
level.
task,
He's a replacement level left tackle,
which was a great
and
thing for a seventh round pick.
100%, 100%. It's going to keep you in the league for at least 10 years. You play a very valuable position. You're gonna make some good money if you stay
He's
healthy.
gonna make
Even if you
good
don't,
money regardless. Like he could have
yeah,
had a chance to
like
make big money, but he's playing himself out of big money, well, probably. But
yeah, it opens the door for the Packers to think: Are we better off without him? Do we have the internal candidates, or do we?
I'd
Can
be
we?
shocked if they give him a contract. Shocked.
Yeah,
But
I don't think
that's not the discussion for now. It's not.
table,
It's not.
table. We'll table it.
Um, we already talked about Darian Kennard. Any other bad you want to talk about, or should we move into happy?
Um, the point that I want to circle back to: Jordan Love faced pressure on 52.2% of his dropbacks against the Denver Broncos, the highest pressure rate of his career as a starter. That is courtesy of Next Gen Stats. So that's your Darian and Kennard point. Um, without getting back into like injury talk, I'm trying to think of like guys just didn't have it. I think a lot of it was just secondary,
Emmanuel Wilson
but
didn't have it today, but he was sick, so I'm giving him a pass.
Yeah, that's true. Rich Bisaccia giving like the meme of all memes of like a special teams penalty occurs and he's
Head
like
down.
he
He
doing the
did
Doc
he. I was
Rivers.
just gonna say he did the Doc
Yeah,
Rivers.
it's like okay, at least we know what you're good for here.
Yep.
Um,
Special teams specifically didn't have it today, as always.
just
As always.
it's insane. Um, Josh Wiley got hurt too. That was kind of a
That got hurt.
he got hurt,
He got his bell
right?
wrong.
He did get his bell rung.
I was that that was the play that
Josh Jacobs ran into him on a 3rd and 1
no,
out
no,
wide.
no, no, no. He didn't run into him. The
Well,
guy who tackled him ran through him.
yeah,
It
that's true.
was I can't pronounce his freaking name. Talanoa Hufawanga when he
Hmm.
ran through Josh
That
Wiley.
guy's good.
He is good. He's damn good. Ran through Josh Wiley to get to Josh Jacobs, and they don't call targeting in the NFL. It would have been clear and obvious targeting against him in college. Like
Yeah.
just throws himself and his helmet at Josh Wiley to get to Josh Jacobs and blows him up. Like he got his bell rung. I'm sure he's concussed. I'm sure he'll be out for a good chunk of the rest of the season, or at least next game for sure.
Um. Oh, actually, let's do one more Jordan Love related stat. Ben Solak had
Is this
um
the zone?
yes,
Yeah,
74% of Packers dropbacks were zone coverages from the Broncos. It was the highest zone rate of any game this season.
yeah,
And Jordan Love was 18 and 29, 162 passing yards, 6.8 yards per attempt, one touchdown, two interceptions, three sacks. So
yeah.
can probably imagine a lot of that happened in the second half, post Watson injury,
Yep.
and you know, but yeah, that's kind of I guess I would say the bad of the players that were still playing by the end of Sunday.
Yeah. Alrighty, let's move on to the good because I'll move on to the good and on to the the future of the Packers. But for this game specifically, Jordan Love, the stats don't bear out as a good game, but if you watch the game, I thought he played really well until the team just started falling apart. Like the first half was some of the best football I've ever seen that man play. Like he was just wheeling and dealing and finding guys open like to transition to like Jordan Love to like another good spot. the Matthew Golden catch on the sideline, on the right sideline, was incredible. Like that's I would Don LaGreca shake my mic right now. Like that's why you draft Matthew Golden. That's why you throw it to Matthew Golden. He has 4 targets, 3 catches for 55 yards today. And the one where he's running down the sideline, turns his hips
He
towards the
was the
sideline.
leading. Sorry, he was the leading wide receiver.
Him and Jaden, they had
Yes, tied.
they had three at they had Matthew Gold at 55, January 55, and Musgrave at 52. So like they were
It's
all
wild.
right in that bunch there. No wide receiver one, right?
Yeah.
Um, but he turns like Matthew Golden's running up the sideline, sees the ball's coming, turns his shoulders from inside towards the sideline, and catches the ball in his hands as he's falling to the ground. Just an amazing catch for the position that he was in, and a big catch at that. And like that's why you throw to him. He has good hands. He had a good catch over the middle, down towards the red zone. He had a catch. His third catch was on an out route towards the left hand sideline in the first half. And it's like, yes, thank you. Like we need to see more of that and more of throwing to Matthew Golden because he can clearly show that he can catch the ball. Catch the ball.
Yeah, I really like seeing Golden. He was the kind of shining beacon of light amid the wreckage by the end of it when Jordan Love wasn't running for his life or getting
I mean, there were a
preyed
lot of
upon.
beacons of light this game. Like that's why
Well,
I want to.
post injury, I think.
I mean, maybe, but like I think most of his catches were before all the injuries.
No, it was after.
The big one was after.
At least I can go through my notes, but and play by play. But I feel like a lot of it happened post Watson at least. Um,
I'm looking.
yeah, but yeah, I like seeing
Yeah,
him turn it on.
the end of the third quarter was the big third down conversion. So
Yeah, and that was kind of like, oh, maybe they have something left to give. I mean, there was a lot of
right.
like
Well
false.
they that's the thing is they had chances to win this game.
Sean, I don't know what the hell Sean Payton was doing by the end of that game.
I think he
That was not my problem at
yeah
that point because I don't think the Packers just had it, but it was
no.
just like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
I'm reading Jordan's notes, listener. I'm reading Jordan's notes. Something caught my eye,
What?
and it says the order of this goes halftime. Jordan typing out his notes. Jordan Love is dealing today. Most passing yards in a first half for Love. Um, and his dissection of the Broncos pass defense. The first line must have been the ensuing drive after halftime. DPI on white privilege gives the Packers into Bronco territory.
My nickname for Riley Moss.
Oh, that was funny. I didn't like. I was just scrolling. And I saw white privilege in our game
Because he
notes.
was holding on.
Was,
Who is he holding on to?
who
Was
was
that
that?
Watson?
I think it was. Yeah, it was the one on. Um, I think it was
And they're
Watson.
booing him. It's like the guy's holding his hand forearm for like 10
Yeah, no. It
yards.
was on Golden. That
It was
was
on Golden. Okay, that's what I
yeah,
thought. Okay, yeah.
yeah. It was on Golden because Tony Romo and Jim Nantz were like, I don't know if that's a penalty, if that's a hold. I'm like, he's holding his hand back.
Also, Tony Romo, I don't know what's happening with that guy.
No one does.
Very like weird tan.
I didn't
Weird
see that.
tan.
I didn't see him on the broadcast. I just
Very
had the
like a
disprivilege
gradient
of hearing
tan.
him. So,
Yeah.
but yeah,
Sorry.
like a good game from Jordan Love today, and we'll get into the future of stuff. But good Matthew Golden game today too. Another good like Luke Musgrave is starting to come on as a tight end. Like this is we needed him to start doing this after Tucker Kraft's injury, and I mean that catch that he laid out for, he caught it this week. He caught it last week too, but he caught it this week, and like that was just
Yeah.
an incredible pitch and catch, and like that's what he was drafted for. Is that he was supposed to be the athletic wide receiver slash tight end combo that the Packers could utilize in the passing game with two tight end sets, right? Like that's kind of like what that vision was. And Tucker Kraft would be kind of the bulkier pass blocker and also able to sneak out and for some catches. But like this is the athlete that they drafted, and he's looked very good after his first week of filling in, looking very bad. What was it, the Eagles game where he looked awful and he got benched? Yeah, because it was they lost to the Panthers and they lost to the Eagles, right? Yeah, because
Yes.
then
Yeah.
Kraft got hurt against the Panthers, and then the first week that Musgrave was
Josh
thrust,
Wiley got the touch on that game, I think.
right.
Or maybe it was
Yeah,
him.
whichever, doesn't matter. But like
Yeah.
he's looked really good the past couple of games, and like if they can harness that, like they'll be in a good spot. And again, I don't want to get into like the future stuff and why the season's not over yet, just yet. But good Luke Musgrave game too.
Good. Yeah. I mean, he can't stay upright to catch a ball to save his life, but it's still, he's
I'm
still
not.
catching him.
At least he's catching him.
There were some throws that were a little like he has to like extend out for
Yeah.
him, and if he's like not, he just doesn't have core strength. And I'm saying that as someone that does not have core strength, so I recognize it in others that doesn't have core strength
Yeah.
because the guy is like wilts like a leaning tower of Luke. So,
A leaning tower of Luke.
um, but yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, but still, I'm not gonna complain about him being productive.
Nope, not even a little bit. Um, Josh Jacobs, really good day to on Sunday. 12 carries, 73 yards, and a touchdown on the ground, paired with an absolute moss of the corner that was covering
Dude,
him.
that is part of like that what sucks about this game being like such a downer
Yep.
to a lot of people, but it's like
You
that
forget that he just had one of
yeah,
the most electrifying touchdowns I've seen in a Packers
it
jersey.
just it was insane. Like insane. Just I not
Um,
some of the wide receivers on that team don't make that catch.
no, God no.
I'm looking at you, unnamed Packers wide receiver.
Keith said it when it happened, but pre 2024 Numac catching the wildest of L's that say when I said that Josh Jacobs wasn't much of a pass catcher running back.
I don't blame you. I mean, he had not scored a receiving touchdown. It
Right.
was not a big part of his game.
Going from scoring his first receiving touchdown last year on like that little flat screen pass to that
Yeah,
is insane.
insane. He also just had the Raiders of it all. Like the Raiders will ruin you.
That's true. But regardless, really good Josh Jacobs game. Like he talk about guys getting popped. He got popped by Dre Greenlaw over the middle on his rush.
Yeah,
He took a shot. Got up smiling.
yeah,
I was walking to work today. I was talking with a guy, and he goes, "Yeah, like I told him the Christian Watson news, and like that he might not be, and how he hurt that bone in his chest. And he goes, "Yeah, they're just built different." I said, "Yeah, and look like Josh Jacobs taking that hit." He goes, "Oh, I would have died." I was like, "I also would have
yeah,
died."
yeah.
Like that was a hit from Dre Greenlaw. He pops up smiling. Thank you, please. May I have some more? Golly. Um, defense. I don't have too much to talk about good wise. Lucas Van Ness plays. That's a plus.
I'm trying to like. I don't
Edge and
think.
Quay had a couple tackles for a loss. Like they were good,
Yeah, that's true.
but like
Quay looked good. He left the game at a point
yeah,
too, which I thought
he had
was
a.
adding
I think he had a cramp. It's like it kind of looked like
that. Oh, that's a good. Yeah,
because
that's a very good
he fell
call.
down and his leg was just straight up. Like that just screams foot
Yeah,
cramp to me.
Colby Wooden. Plus, I mean, you're playing Mile High.
Yeah.
Mile High.
You could have went Colorado Rocky Mountain High there, but Mr. Sunshine on my goddamn shoulders, John Denver.
Like a rock.
That's that is not.
Oh.
Xavier McKinney had 3 pass deflections today, according to ESPN. Again, he was good.
He was good. I mean,
I think he had 2 dropped interceptions that he wanted
he had
back.
2 dropped interceptions, but had a game or not, well, maybe at one point, game-saving touchdown pass breakup. Um, but yeah, I thought he was. We've talked about this before. The more Xavier McKinney is in the line of fire
He's gonna make a
and
play.
having to make plays, it is both good and an indictment of Packers secondary, specifically their outside corners, and just teams finding the soft spot in the middle of the field.
Yeah,
Like I think that's the thing with play in Denver, and it's a unique advantage that they have over the 31 other NFL teams. But like, I think a lot of guys just got gassed at a certain point.
Romeo
Quay
Dobbs
Walker
was
being,
Romeo Dobbs was sucking wind on the sideline
mhm.
and air for that matter. I saw him with the oxygen tank, which makes sense. It's different. Alrighty, let's move on. Is there anything else for good?
uh,
Bueller.
no, I don't think I do. I wanted to say I like Josh Jacobs' game a lot, and knowing that
Yeah,
his touchdown run was just insane. That was awesome. On
touchdown
top of
was
his,
awesome.
um, yeah,
That came right after the Matthew Golden holding, by the way.
it did.
Yeah,
Yes, it did. Also, I will say I kind of forgot about it. Um, Again, when the game was a very different tenor, Packers got a lot of red zone looks,
yeah.
and I believe only had one red zone touchdown on the day.
That is a buried kind of thread throughout this. Again, we keep talking about the Discord, but like our game chats in there are usually pretty active. Like we're usually all around. It's fun to just talk to people in there.
1 for 4, to be clear.
But there were people in there, and I'm not like saying they're wrong because I think they have a point. But coming away with the first two red zone trips with 6 points isn't productive. But I also, at that point in the game, like in the first half, the first quarter, what we expected the game to be, and with the Packers defense already had stopped. Like the Broncos take the ensuing kickoff, go down to like to midfield. RG Harvey fumbles. Packers defense is swarming already. They Packers then go down the field, kick a field goal within in the red zone.
Yep.
Um, I think the Broncos punt the next time. They start their next drive from like their own like 6 or something, like really deep in their end zone after a special teams holding penalty. Drive all the way down the field again, get within the 10-yard line, first and goal. Penalties uh, bite them, and then push them all the way back, kick another field goal. And so like people were saying that just like they didn't like the conservative like play calling from Matt LaFleur regard like because of this. And at the time, even though it like in hindsight, yes, they should have been getting touchdowns and obviously should have been getting touchdowns. At that point, it's 3-0 and 6-0 with the defense like playing their asses off. I was
Yeah, their defense is
fine
making stops.
just taking the points
Yeah.
because you don't want to give momentum to a team that gets a stop in the red zone, give them energy, give them that stuff, especially on the road. You just take the points on the road and try and like, especially against that good of a defense, just try and get points on the board and try again next drive because they had been moving the ball. Like I
Yeah.
said, the first half was really good. So that's all.
Yeah. But no, let's move on to your final segment.
Alrighty, the final segment is that the season's not over. The season is not over despite Micah Parsons being injured, despite all the injuries the Packers have suffered to their starting 22, like Devontae Wyatt, Tucker Kraft, Micah Parsons, Jaden Reed for like half the season. Like
Elton Jenkins.
Elton Jenkins is done for the year. Like there's been a lot of injuries on this team, right? The line has been fine. Like it's been fine. I'm not gonna say it's been good. It's been good enough when healthy when Zach Thomas in there. But with Micah Parsons going down, I had this realization on the way to work today. This defense is no different than it was last year. They had
Yeah.
that the only missing piece from this defense last year is Kenny Clark.
Kenny Clark.
And Kenny Clark, while good, I think you can make an argument that Colby Wooden is playing pretty darn well this year to make up for that loss and what he brings.
I think he's played as well as Kenny Clark did last year.
Right. And so
Which
the idea here that your season's over, it's like if Christian Watson was out for the year, I could see where it's really hard to lose a dynamic piece of like that from the offensive side of the ball, given what he's been doing the past couple of weeks and really had a renaissance of a season. But this defense was good last year. They weren't elite like they were with Micah Parsons this year, but they were good. They played the Eagles in the playoffs and held them to what like 20 points or something like that. Like it wasn't a lot. And they in half lost that or in part lost that game because they ran out of linemen. Like that's just They ran out of both. I'm on both sides of the ball, and so I think the lesson to be learned here, and then what we should be moving forward with, what I'm going to be moving forward with the rest of the season, is that this defense can do it. They can be a competent defense. I think what matters now, though, is that the front and the secondary need to be the best that they can be. You can't have games like today again from the secondary, particularly Keyshawn
Yeah,
and Carrington Valentine. But I think what you're going to see a lot more of now versus what we saw earlier in the season, and what we saw last year, Quay and Edge are going to be in the backfield a lot more. Like this forces Jeff Halfley to get more creative with his blitz packages again and stop just rushing forward. And so I think like that's how they're going to start getting home to the quarterback because Micah Parsons had something like 60 like or 70 pressures a lot. He had a lot of
I have the number.
number 84
Um,
comes to my brain for some reason. But I'm not sure if that's how high it
he
was.
had 72 by last week, which I can only imagine probably crept up to 80.
Something like that.
Defense. Parsons led the NFL with 64 pressures according to ESPN Analytics. Again, everybody has their own model. The next closest Packers player in terms of pressures is Rashawn Gary with 28. The
Yeah.
difference of 36 is the largest gap between any team's two top leaders this season.
Yeah. And
That's
so
ESPN's model of pressures versus like
anywhere else.
PFF or Next Gen Stats.
Right. And so I think like this team can do it. Like they did it last year. What I really think it comes down to is the offense needs to just hum the rest of the season. And like it's a meme at this point for this Packer season. They didn't score 27 last night. They scored 26. And so they need to start putting multiple touchdowns on the board throughout like the second half and just the game in general. Like it was a good offensive game for the first half last night. They need to put the full four quarters together as an offense. They need Christian Watson to keep up his level of play. They need Josh Jacobs to keep up his level of play, limit turnovers on offense, and like they have to become an offensive minded team now versus a defensive minded team. I think Matt LaFleur needs to stop being so conservative with the number of drives he's going to have. That's what I liked from yesterday's game. They took a lot of shots downfield. They took a lot of shots downfield. Like they are trying to have big chunk plays, and that's like what they should be doing because Jordan Love has shown and showed on Sunday that he can make those throws. And so let Jordan Love drive this offense to where it needs to go and where we all hope it wants to go because he is fully capable of doing that because he has had some sicko throws to some really good receivers. And I think they need to start just being more aggressive consistently that way. If they can do that and be successful on offense and become an even more efficient offense and lead the NFL more by EPA per play, I think they'll be in a good spot. Like they have to I don't want to say they have to outrun their defense, but I think that's what it's going to come down to some weeks.
Yeah, I I understand. I know a lot of our Packers pals in our Discord were in their feelings, and a lot of the season's over.
I was too.
Fuck.
I was too. I was in a shitty mood last night
Yeah,
because I thought we lost four starters.
yeah. Like I mean, the Watson, Steve Watson down the field. I said season altering play. Little did I know what was to come. But yeah, this is. If we look back on how this 2025 Packers season is written, and we see them fall short of reaching a Super Bowl, much less winning one, we'll look at this game as the reason why their fortunes changed. But you mentioned a lot of good points of like Al Jacobs is hasn't played for weeks now. Jay Reed is only getting back from his injury. Like they have dealt with long term absences. Yes, they are the third wild card seed in the NFC. They can reclaim their spot as the top dog of the NFC North on Saturday against the Bears. It's I just like I'm old enough to be jaded. And I get it.
Practically
People
dust,
get,
dude.
yeah, I'm freaking dust. They, they call me.
They call you what?
Anyway, I don't know. Anyway, I was around. They call me Dust Bowl because that's how long I've been on this crusty earth. Um, I just like I don't. I'm trying not
I need you to
to.
formulate your thought.
I know, but I'm trying to massage this in a way where it's not like the woe is me talk or like, oh, look at what happens when we finally
No, I
try or
understand.
like go and it's like that's the whole point. It's the whole point of sports. I am so as I get older and I like have like this is all we have. Sports is
This is
truly
all we
culture.
have.
It is the only culture. Mark Cuban's talking about AI and how everybody who is creatives. I'm sorry. I'm going in
No,
the
keep
rant. I'm going
going.
in the rant.
Keep going.
I saw Mark Cuban go on this like everybody that's creative should love AI. It makes your job easier. And I just got so irritated by all these things that like they there's so many things that get taken away from you that diminishes the impact of like a lot of different things. I know this is not about football right now, but I'm just gonna say it
Speak
because
on
this
it,
is the
King.
outlet. But it diminishes like what I talk about with anybody. And oh, did you see that movie? Oh no, I didn't. Because it's being played at different things, or it's on Netflix for this, and like I fall asleep because Jay Kelly was boring as hell. But I'm just saying, like, when it comes to like football, they boasted the ratings for the Thanksgiving game, and it's because football is TV. It is what gravitates everybody towards like watching the same thing at the same time. There are not a lot of things that do that anymore. It's the God's honest truth.
You're right.
So when that happens and something like
And your favorite character
try to
dies.
when your favorite character dies, essentially it is. It's like Micah Parsons is gone for the rest of the season. How will like it is? This is what it is. It's real life. Like whatever. I just like I can divorce myself from like having like fandom and be able to look at it through the unique lens of having to talk about it. I mean, I've done it for a very long time now, and I'm not stopping anytime soon. But like, the more you do that, you kind of have a different relationship to it rather than it's like this sucks. Oh, like yeah, yeah, I'm sorry. It's not to anyone in particular, but it's just like when I was seeing all that stuff, and I get it. I'm bummed. I want to watch Micah Parsons. I want to see the Packers win a Super Bowl, but like we're not. We talk about season being over, but it's not gonna change the fact that you're still watching the rest of the season. That you're probably gonna complain if the Packers lose next week against the Bears, or if they when they lose in the playoffs, if and when they do, it's like these things happen. It is life. You keep going on. I know. I realize I'm doing. I'm just doing like grow up. But this is my Don LaGreca moment. Sorry, there's just a
It's
lot of
so
things in
good.
there. I just saw that Mark Cuban thing, and it just pissed me off. It pissed me off. It pissed me off. I cannot. The guy that
I called the
he's
cops. That's what you heard.
yeah,
I
exactly.
called the cops on
Mark
Jordan. Called an
Cuban,
ambulance.
Mark Cuban, who can't even talk to AI to say Nico Harrison traded Luka Doncic. Yeah, Jesus Christ. Sorry.
I don't think, respectfully, you ever got to the point.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't. I just was just yelling. That was old
to
man yelling.
to
This
your
is
point, I'll try and kind of make your point for you. To everyone that says the season's over, there is a certain Twitter user who GSPN's had beef with before. A couple of
I have not even seen this
couple of
tweeting.
couple of numbers after his name. Uh, I'll let the slew thing, and I said it in
Packer
Discord.
backer 69.
Nope. Um, he went viral on Twitter last year with Packard and like Buck's Twitter sphere for being an idiot. But um, like the season's not over. Like it's to expect
Can you just I'm what was the tweet? Just tell me what the tweet was, because
um
I don't care. I got a fucking machine gun right
that
now. Ho
Archon
ho ho.
that Archon 14 fellow that Ty fought with about Adrian Griffin.
Yes, for Adrian Griffin.
He had a tweet today talking about to expect more out of the offense is unrealistic because they're already like the best offense per EPA per play. And like I don't think it's unrealistic to ask more of them. I think it's totally realistic for them just to maintain their elite offensive output. Like if they just have more possessions at this level, which I think is their biggest issue, is that they just don't have enough possessions in the way they operate their offense. They can run teams out of the stadium. Like if they play the entire game like they played the first half at Denver, there's no team in the NFL that's catching them. There just isn't. Like the Seahawks, maybe with how big of a play Darnold and JSN can do. But I think the optimistic way to look at the rest of the season is that the offense is clicking at the right time when you want offense to click. They've kind of found an identity and they found a way they want to play that is very productive and conducive to them winning games. And if the defense is going to hold you back by that a little bit, then so be it. But the game is scoring points and your defense is going to get stops like throughout the game. Like there's very rarely a situation where your defense is going to go over on getting stops. Like they might allow field goals, they might allow a touchdown, but they'll like you anticipate them getting one or two punts at least. If the Packers can keep up with that and score touchdowns when they need to, like I think that's what leads to this season having a celebratory ending. And I have a full breadth of confidence in Jordan Love, Christian Watson, Jaden Reed, Romeo Dobbs, Matthew Golden, Dontavian Wicks, and Josh Jacobs, and the rest of the specialists to really make this work. Like what Dontavian Wicks has a ball from Jordan Love that's thrown behind him, go off his hands, and that's the second pick. And like
Yeah. Yeah.
that, like, I saw him beat himself up on the sideline. Like that's not his fault. The throw was behind him. Like that's just Jordan Love
Yeah, it's
has to
bad throw
throw.
and you're trying to make a play and
Right. That's not
look what
on
happens.
Dontavian Wicks. And Jordan Love's first throw wasn't on Jordan Love. It was just a great play by the reigning defensive player of the year. Like that's just what that was. And so like this team is very good. This team is very good. And if you're looking forward to like this Bears game is going to be stressful. Like they need a lot of their guys to get healthy that are able to be healthy, but I don't see any reason why they can't go win this game. Like the pressure from Micah Parsons helped a lot in that game to kind of get Caleb Williams out of the pocket and scramble him outside. But I think Micah Parsons had one sack. Like I don't think he wasn't. Let me go back and look quickly.
And yesterday,
No, in the Bears game.
yeah, he had one sack.
So like good. He had a lot of pressure. I think he had like 8 or 9 pressures.
He had the sack on. No, Edenbari had the only sack on
Yeah,
Williams,
as I
I
say,
think.
that's what I thought. I don't think he had one. And so
Micah
like
just had a lot of
my
pressures.
entire point being is that Micah Parsons didn't win them that game. Like the entire defense won them that game on Keyshawn Nixon making a good play to end the game. Like the way forward for this team, like I said earlier, is for the secondary and the front to have to play at their top level. Rashawn Gary said, or I forget to report it, but Rashawn Gary had a meeting with
Yep.
the defense with Carl Brooks yesterday saying they need to be on top of their game. And I think if they can do that, and if Keyshawn and Carrington Valentine can limit their mistakes and make big plays and nab a few interceptions here and there, like they can do it. They're capable of doing it. And that's where I come back to this defense of last year wasn't bad. They weren't elite, but they were pretty darn good. They held the Super Bowl champs to I want to say it was like 20 points.
I think it was 22.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it was
They had a lot of field goals, and it was a game that the Packers are still somewhat into it, even though they
they
couldn't really
lost
move
that
the
game
ball.
22 to 10.
Yeah,
Like it just they are capable of holding elite offenses to 2 bad games. Like
yeah.
that's where Jeff Hadley's so good. He can drum up good defensive plans with the best of them. And so like I'm the sky is not falling. It is not cloudy with a chance of meatballs. Like I think there is a pretty solid path forward for this team. It just involves the strengths playing to their strengths and the defense limiting their big mistakes.
Let me answer this, less emotionally and coherently than I had previously done talking with. I think you're correct in that this is essentially the same defense as it is without Micah Parsons. They have not really lost anybody of note beyond Parsons and Devontae Wyatt that would change this defense. And if there's honestly, if there's a side of the ball that I have more trust in being able to play a different way without a star player like Micah Parsons and without an equally impactful force up front with Devontae Wyatt, considering how he was playing when healthy, it's Jeff Halfley. The guy's gonna be a future. He's a future NFL head coach. He's played different ways as last year showed, and they were very. That was a top 10 defense with by the end of the year after Xavier McKinney rode, you know, his hot streak of forcing interceptions like the first 5 games of the year or whatever it was, and they were super impactful as a run stuffing team. Be able to play, keep big plays in front of them. Um, can you go back to that? I think it's gonna be a test. I think the biggest thing for the defense is what are you more willing to take away? Is it run defense? Can it still be as good, even if you're going to be without Evan Williams for the next couple of weeks and you're out without Micah Parsons, who had an amazing run stuffing moment before he got hurt yesterday on a 3rd and 1 and forced the fumble. Um, I I'm somewhat confident. I think the pass rush is the biggest.
Yeah,
I mean, the numbers don't lie, and
it is.
that front.
I mean, like to your point,
But
they only had 89 rushing yards yesterday. The
yeah,
Broncos
RJ
did.
Harvey was pretty kept in check, even though
Yeah,
he was used elsewhere. But like, you still gonna have to go through. I mean, think about who they're finishing up with. It's
I mean,
Bears,
the next
Ravens,
next week will be a
Vikings.
test against DeAndre Swift and Kyle Monangai again. But then
Yeah,
like Derrick Henry, who's been a shell of himself this year, finally.
I mean that Ravens team is just kind of screwed up,
Yep.
to say the
But
least.
then AJ Jones and uh, whoever their backup is, I can't remember his name right now.
Jordan Mason
Jordan Mason to end the year,
and
and
9.
and sure and 9, but like if the standings stay as they are and the Packers are the 7th seed, you'll face the Bears again. You're probably facing the Bears regardless in the playoffs, depending like if the Packers and Bears keep pace with how their seasons are going. So you're facing the Bears what 2 more times, and again they did well against this Bears defense 2 weeks ago, or this Bears
Yeah,
run game. It's this Bears run game. My apologies. Ben Johnson's going to come with different wrinkles because he's just that kind of head coach. But I agree. Like if they can stop the run, make Caleb Williams, Lamar Jackson, who I think just threw his first touchdowns in like I'm not kidding, like a month and a half,
yeah, it's been that bad.
and
It has. I
And
mean,
JJ McCarthy, like
the guy's a Lamar Jackson has been a walking injury report like every week,
yeah,
like he with different things. Like the guy is just playing hurt. He's gutting through it,
right.
but yet continue.
But like the quarterback caliber they're facing, like Caleb Williams is a rising star. Like he's making some really good throws. He had a throw to DJ Moore yesterday against the Browns that was ridiculous.
Scrum
Did you see
Trollescent.
it? The one to DJ Moore when he threw across his
No,
body. He was rolling out right towards the sideline. He's
he's
about
playing with confidence.
he sure is.
Yeah,
He's about to go out of bounds, throws across his body from the right sideline to the middle of the field in the end zone. And
he does it a lot, doesn't
he sure does. And DJ Moore goes up to catch it.
he? He's like he
Browns
is.
player flashes in front of him, misses the ball, goes through the other Browns player's hands, and DJ Moore catches it. Like it was just an
Yeah,
incredible window of a throw. It should have been intercepted, but it was still a great throw
yeah,
regardless. But like if you can get through the Bears next week, your path towards winning the NFC North is a lot better. And then you get a home field game in the first round of the playoffs, and likely the second round too. Well, no, and the second round if you win.
yeah.
So, like it's all a matter of taking care of business the next 3 weeks, which I'm fully capable of thinking they can do. I said they could win out. I mean, I'm not going to recant that statement. I think they fully could have won that game yesterday had the wheels not fallen off the collective bus.
Yeah,
And like they're capable of winning these next 3 games. They could
yeah.
still get to 10 win or to 12 wins, which is insane to
That's
think about.
possible. It's what we. I don't know if we expect that.
No, we
I
said
appreciate
lower
that.
because like it was just
When they got Parsons
no before Parsons. We did when we did our predictions.
predictions.
Yeah.
Um, I think the offense. Sorry, I was gonna make my joke about Caleb Williams being like Eddie Van Halen playing like Eruption for the 3rd time, where he's like, "You want to see this again?" And it's him
Yes.
just like rolling down, throwing a ball across his body. I think the point with the offense, I don't necessarily disagree with the man they call Archon. I think it's a different way of phrasing it. The offense is going through a big peak right now. Can it maintain that? Christian Watson, if he plays, if he's 100%, like he is such a universal positive to this offense that it is set in stone and alarming that when he leaves the field for any point in time, they can't have anybody beat coverage or find soft spots. And Jordan Love is holding on the ball for a lot longer, and your weaknesses on the offensive line get exposed. I think that was unique to yesterday, but at the same time, like they have had the Panthers game, they have had the Eagles game where the offense is just stuck in mud or stuck in snow, icy, cold grass. Like it, this team, the offense by looks good with any metric that you look at. It is designed to look like that. It is good, but it's they. I don't know. Like I feel like for me, going back to the point that I mentioned about Jeff Halfley and having a him giving him the benefit of the doubt of being able to play a different way without the sum of your parts and you're the top guys leading the way. It's been very sticky for the Packers that for the last 2 years, really. Like when they've been able to find identities when Jordan Love was hurt last year, Josh Jacobs is carrying a big load for um with Malik Willis under center. But I I don't know. Like it's always this weird balance of like we always just like who's going to emerge from the wide receiver corps, and then it goes to like Christian Watson's playing as good as he ever has, and we have talked about the benefits of having him on the field. And the moment that he leaves, it proves that the Packers don't have someone as good or as impactful when he is gone. That turning to Matthew Golden, turning to John Tavian Wicks, turning to Jaden Reed, who's slowly getting into form. Not slowly, but he's rounding into form after being hurt for a long time. Romeo Dobbs has been kind of quiet the last couple of games. It's just like it's just a little bit unpredictability that doesn't help the fact that the offense will look good on paper, but in execution and in context of the game, it might just be different. I don't know. It's just this internal battle.
No, 100%, 100%.
Mark Cuban.
I will say that when Roman Dobbs is the most quiet is when he has the biggest games. IMO. He kind of goes quiet for a little bit and then he explodes for like the Dallas game per se.
Like a Nirvana chorus.
Sure, we'll go with that.
Quiet loud.
I don't know that song.
Well, it's like it's the Pixies way. You know what I mean? You have a quiet verse,
Sure.
and then it explodes. It's like every '90s song. You know what I mean? That's the Packers. That's the Packers. They have a quiet verse, and then it's like smells like Teen Spirit. You know what I mean?
And they explode. Of course, of
They
course.
explode.
And with that, I have nothing more to talk about. I'm optimistic for the rest of the season. So we'll be back in your podcast feeds later this week to talk about the Bears preview. A longer one today. I think this was cathartic, Jordan.
I don't know if it was. I couldn't tell after I saw red and yelled Mark Cuban 16 times.
It was
That had
cathartic for
nothing.
me. I feel better. I felt better today in general, but like out of it in a supremely different mood last night. So I'm glad we took a beat.
Well, and also, I mean, I think to our benefit, it helps having clarity of all these injuries. Like we
Yes,
kind of knew what Micah Parsons was going to be. We had no idea what Christian Watson was going through because it surely looked like a shoulder injury. And when chest was the reason why he was questionable to return or not likely to return, and then not returning, it was
right,
like, okay, what's going on? Why is he in the ambulance? Like it was just a lot of different things that like you kind of need that extra time
right.
to 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 take a beat.
Yep, 100%. So, all right, folks. Thank you all for tuning in. We appreciate you all, especially after this, what we thought would be somewhat solemn podcast, especially given the news. Like I said earlier, we'll be back in your
A
podcast
silent
feeds.
night, if you will.
I will fight you. Um, We'll be back in your podcast feeds later this week, talk about the Bears game, and in your podcast feeds over the weekend once they play that game. Go to gspn.info for all things Eurostep and subscribe to Eurostep with Ty and Rohan to get all things Bucks as their tumultuous season rolls on. We appreciate every single one of you. Thank you for understanding.
Doctor, give me the news. The Bucks are losing to Brooklyn Nets. 46 points.
Why, thank you for that serenade, Jordan. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Listener, thank you. And once again, Jordan, thank you.
Thank you.